How should you use the word all? How can you use it correctly? Well, all can be followed either by a singular uncountable noun or a plural countable noun. This means that all can be used with both types of nouns, countables and uncountables. So you can say, for instance, all my students pass the exam. So all here is followed by the plural noun students, a countable plural noun. And you can also use all with an uncountable noun. For example, you can say, all the information he gave us was wrong. All, in this example, is followed by the noun information, which is singular and uncountable. So these two examples exhibit how the word all can be used with both types of nouns being countable or uncountable. The next point I'd like to highlight is the usage of the word of with all. Actually, it's optional to use the word of with all. So in the previous two examples, we could say all the information or all of the information. Both are correct. You can say all my students or all of my students. That's also perfectly right to use any of them. But there is a certain case in which using of is necessary and obligatory with all. And that's when all is followed by an object pronoun. What's an object pronoun? An object pronoun is like us, them, and so on. So you cannot say all us. You must say all of us. All of us want to play football, for example. You cannot say all them, but you have to say all of them. All of them complained to the manager, but you cannot omit of in such a case. This is also a second point that was necessary to mention. Normally, in sentences, all is used before the noun it refers to. Just like in the two examples we mentioned at the beginning of the video, we said all the information, all my students. So all is coming before the nouns it refers to, the information and my students. But still, we can use all after the noun it refers to. For example, you can say, his songs all sound the same to me. This means all his songs sound the same to me. So you can say all his songs or his songs all sound the same to me. You can say we all think Anne is a hard worker. We all think so. Or you can say all of us think that Anne is a hard worker. So as a rule of thumb, you can place all either after the noun it refers to or before it, although the position before the noun is more common. And if you have verb to be in the sentence and you want to use all with it, all must come after verb to be. If your verb phrase consists of more than just the main verb, there are auxiliary verbs, one or more, you put all after the first auxiliary. Let's take a couple of examples to exhibit that. They are all going to Athens. Verb to be here is are. You cannot say they all are going. You cannot put all before verb to be. It has to be after it. So you say, they are all going to Athens. Another example, you should all have 3 question papers. Where is the verb phrase in this example? Should have. The verb phrase consists of the main verb have, and the auxiliary verb should, which is a modal verb. So you have one auxiliary here, which is should. So you must put all after the first auxiliary, and you say, you should all have 3 question papers. You see, so this is regarding the word all. Also, a word or 2 words which are similar to all are the whole. Whole is spelled W-H-O-L-E, and the entire. Entire is spelled E-N-T-I-R-E. These 2 phrases or these 2 expressions are used before a singular countable noun. You know, countable nouns can be singular or plural, but the whole and the entire are used before a singular countable noun. For example, we weren't able to stay for the whole concert or for the entire concert. Concert is a singular countable noun. Why countable? Because it can be pluralized. You can say concerts, and only countable nouns can be pluralized. You cannot pluralize an uncountable noun. Uncountable nouns are always singular. So that's regarding the 2 expressions, the whole and the entire. Now I'll move on to another central idea in today's session or today's lesson, which is the difference between each and every. Normally, each and every can be used interchangeably, which means that they are synonymous to each other. They can be used synonymously. But some adverbs like almost, nearly, and virtually, which means almost, we prefer to use every with them. So if your sentence contains one of these adverbs, almost, nearly, virtually, it's better or it's preferred to use every, not each. So you say, for example, almost every visitor stopped and stared. Because we have almost here, it's preferred to say almost every visitor rather than almost each visitor. Also, it is preferable to use every before numbers. So, for example, you can say, I go to the dentist every 6 months, rather than saying, I go to the dentist each 6 months. So, using every is preferable, is advisable before numbers. Except the number 1. If the number mentioned in the sentence is 1, it is preferable to use each. So you say, for example, I had 2 suitcases. Each one weighed 10 kilos. So the number mentioned in this sentence is 1. And before it, it's preferable to use each rather than every. So every is used before numbers, except if the number is 1, it's preferable in this case to use each. Every is also preferable with abstract, uncountable nouns. What is the meaning of abstract? If something is abstract, it means it's not physical. You cannot see it, you cannot touch it. It's not physical, it's something abstract. So if you have an abstract, uncountable noun in your sentence, we prefer every to each. We say, for example, she has every chance of success in her application for the job. chance is not something physical, is not something touchable. So it's better to say she has every chance of success rather than saying she has each chance of success. Each, on the other hand, is preferred if it acts as a pronoun. So every alone cannot be used as a pronoun. You can say everyone or everybody or everything, fine. These can act as pronouns. But if every is used alone in the sentence, it doesn't usually or normally serve as a pronoun, and each is preferable in this particular context. So we say, for example, I asked many people and each gave the same answer. So each here acts as a subject. I asked many people and each gave the same answer. Each is used as a subject pronoun, and it's way more preferable than every here. You cannot say I asked many people and every gave the same answer. You can say an everyone or everybody, but every alone cannot be used in this sense. The last point in this juxtaposition or comparison between each and every is when we are talking about one person or one thing from two people or two things. I mean, you are talking about one person among two, or one thing among two, or between two. For example, she has two children. Each speaks 3 foreign languages. You see? So because we are talking here about one child from two children, she has two children, and we are talking about each one of them out of two, it's preferable to use each rather than every. So we cannot say she has two children, every speaks 3 foreign languages. No, you should use each and say she has two children, each speaks 3 foreign languages. So the rule of thumb here is that we use each when we are referring to one person or thing in a pair, in two people, or in two things. I hope this lesson was useful to you. Please subscribe to the channel if you like my content and if you find it appealing to you. Interact with the video through liking and commenting, and share it to anyone you know that might be interested in learning English. And here we come to the end of today's lesson. Thank you very much for your attentive listening. Enjoy the rest of your day, my friends, and goodbye for now.